I never thought the woman who birthed me would be the one to bury my future 6 feet under a pile of blackjack chips and overpriced facials. But there I was, 22 years old, staring at an eviction notice taped to the door of my crapsack apartment in downtown Philly, the kind of place where the roaches unionized and the heat only kicked in when it felt like pitying you. Mom had always promised the stars, college at Penn State, full ride from the fund she'd squirreled away since I was in diapers. Fiona, baby, she'd coo over lukewarm spaghetti in our row house kitchen, her acrylic nails clicking against the Formica table. That's your ticket out. No more scraping by like your daddy and me. Daddy'd been gone 5 years by then. A heart attack at the steel mill that left us with nothing but condolences and a stack of medical bills. She'd sworn she'd protect that money like it was her own soul. The hook came on a Tuesday in late August, the air thick as regret after a heat wave that turned the Schuylkill River into a soup pot. I got the call from the bank while nursing a black coffee in a Starbucks that smelled like burnt dreams. My tuition payment bounced. Overdrawn by 30 grand.
Mom.
Are you aware of the account activity? The rep asked, her voice all polished sympathy, like she was breaking up with me instead of my education. I laughed, a sharp, ugly bark that turned heads from the laptop zombies around me. Activity? Like what? A heist. She hesitated, then read off the ledger. Wire transfers to Caesar's Palace. Spa packages at the Bellagio. A string of charges from high roller suites in Atlantic City that added up to my entire goddamn future. Mom's name on every one, signed with the flourish she'd practiced in her checkbook for years. I drove straight to her place in the suburbs, the old Chevy pickup rattling like my nerves on I-76. She lived in that McMansion she'd bought with Daddy's life insurance. White picket fence. 2-car garage. The works, while I hustled double shifts at the Wawa, slinging hoagies to pay for community college credits that barely counted. The door swung open before I could knock, and there she was, Dolores Lola Hayes, 51, going on eternal spring break. In a silk robe that screamed midlife crisis chic, her Botox-smooth face cracking into that fake-ass smile she reserved for PDA busybodies. Fiona, sweetie, what a surprise. Come in. I've got mimosas chilling. I shoved the printout in her face. The ink still warm from my frantic Kinko's run. Explain this.
Mom.
All of it. The fund, my fund, is gone.
Poof.
Like it never existed. Her eyes flicked over the pages. That practiced flutter of lashes. And then she sighed, deep and theatrical, like I'd caught her jaywalking instead of robbing her daughter blind.
Oh,
honey, it's not what you think. That money. It was for the family.
For us.
I was stressed. After your father, God rest him, I needed a break. Vegas was therapeutic. The spas? Self-care. You wouldn't understand until you're my age. Buried under life's bullshit. Therapeutic. Self-care. The words hung there, toxic as secondhand smoke from her endless Marlboros. I felt my chest tighten. The kind of rage that starts in your gut and claws up to your throat. Buried under life's bullshit? Try buried under your gambling debts and spray tans while I work 60 hours a week to afford ramen. You promised.
Mom.
Penn State. My escape from this, from you. She waved a hand. Dismissive. Her rings glinting like accusations. Ungrateful. That's what you are, Fiona. After everything I've sacrificed. Who do you think kept the lights on? Who wiped your ass? I gave you life. And now you come at me with papers like some IRS thug? Ungrateful. The word landed like a sucker punch. echoing the fights we'd had since I was 16, when she started hitting the slots after Daddy's shifts got longer. I'd covered for her then, forged notes to school when she blacked out on wine coolers, lied to the neighbors about the vacation fund she dipped into for coach purses. But this was the kill shot. I stormed out, tires screeching on her pristine driveway, the eviction notice burning a hole in my glove box. That night, alone in my apartment with the power flickering like my resolve, I cracked open the shoebox under my bed, the one with Daddy's old letters, his meticulous records from the mill. He'd been the saver, the planner, logging every paycheck into that college fund. And there, buried under yellowed pay stubs, was the first thread, a notarized letter from 2018, the year before he died, authorizing Mom as sole trustee. But scribbled in the margins, in his shaky hand, watch her.
Fee.
She's got the itch.
The itch.
Daddy's code for her gambling demon. The one that started with bingo nights at the church basement and escalated to road trips to Foxwoods. I'd known about the small stuff, the girls' weekends, that left her hungover and hollow-eyed, but not this. Not the way she'd siphoned off chunks over years, replacing them with IOUs from her side hustles, pyramid schemes that were just fancier Ponzi graves. I spent the next week digging, fueled by Red Bull and spite, hacking together a spreadsheet from bank statements I'd subpoenaed with a fake lawyer letter. Don't judge. Desperation's a hell of a teacher. The totals were pornographic. $12,000 on slots in a single weekend. $8,500 on rejuvenation retreats in Scottsdale. Even $3,200 on a VIP lounge pass for some yacht party in Miami she never mentioned. All while I deferred loans, picked up extra shifts, and told myself it was temporary. By Friday, I had the proof, a 150-page dossier. Timelines cross-referenced with her social media brags, photos of her poolside in Cabo. Captioned, living my best life, mom boss, while I was elbow-deep in fryer grease. But revenge isn't just printing paper, it's surgical. I started small. Anonymous tips to her bridge club ladies about the debts, whispers that spread like flu in a nursing home. Then I hit her credit, froze joint accounts we'd shared since I was 18, citing fraud. She called, screaming, voicemail after voicemail. You little bitch. You'll regret this. I made you, made me. Yeah. And broke me too. The real hook twisted deeper 2 weeks in, when I uncovered the secret she'd buried deeper than Daddy's casket. It wasn't just greed, it was guilt. In 2015, pre-Vegas benders, she'd been running a side gig, cooking books for her boss at the real estate firm, skimming commissions to feed the itch. Daddy found out, confronted her, and in the blowout that followed,
He took the fall.
Signed a false confession to protect her, claimed the fraud as his own to keep the family afloat. Prison time?
Nah.
Just probation and a ruined rep that cost him promotions at the mill. He'd carried that weight silent, logging extra overtime to rebuild the fund, telling me it was a bump in the road. Cancer hit a year later, stress, the doc said. She'd killed him slow, and I'd borne the orphan's grief thinking it was fate. I confronted her at the Cheesecake Factory, neutral ground, her favorite for the endless breadsticks and denial. She arrived late, Botox fresh, in a leopard print top that screamed, I'm still hot. Fuck you. Over carrot cake she didn't touch. I slid the dossier across the table. The fraud docs on top. Daddy's confession circled in red. Her face drained, not white but ashen, like she'd seen her own obituary. Fiona.
How?
I leaned in, voice low. The restaurant hum fading to white noise. Doesn't matter. What matters is the board meeting Monday. Your boss gets this unless you confess. Full mea culpa. Restitution to the fund. Or I leak it to the DA. Your choice.
Mom.
But play the ungrateful card again. And I'll bury you deeper than Dad. She laughed then. A brittle, wineglass shatter of a sound. You think you're so smart.
Huh.
Like you didn't know. I did it for us, for you. That money was tainted anyway. And your father? He was weak. Always playing the hero.
Weak.
The word ignited something feral in me. A decision that blurred the line between justice and vendetta. I stood, leaving the folder, and whispered, Monday. Or watch your empire crumble. As I walked out, her sobs chased me into the parking lot. But I didn't look back. Not yet. The days after cheesecake were a fever dream of cat and mouse. The kind of tension that turns your veins to barbed wire. Mom didn't call, not one pleading voicemail.
No te haré sträcket texts.
Instead, she went radio silent, posting stories from spin class and empowerment brunches like nothing had cracked her facade. But I knew better. I'd seen the itch evolve into full-blown mania. By Sunday night, my phone buzzed with a block number. Meet me at the old spot. Midnight. Come alone. The old spot. Daddy's fishing pier on the Delaware. Where we'd scatter breadcrumbs for ducks and pretend life was simple. I went. Glock in my purse, Philly rule. Always strapped. Even for family drama. The river black as ink under a sliver moon. She was there. Silhouette against the lapping water. Cigarette glow like a distress signal. No robe this time, just jeans and a hoodie. Stripped of her armor. Looking every bit the hollowed-out Milltown girl she'd buried under layers of denial. Fiona, she started. Voice raw. I can't do the confession. It'll kill me, jail.
The shame.
But I'll pay it back. Every cent.
Just.
Give me time.
Time.
The word was her currency. Always had been. I pulled the flash drive from my pocket. Its contents a virus ready to deploy. Emails drafted to her boss. The DA. Even the local rag for that viral takedown. Time's up.
Mom.
Wire the money by dawn. Or this hit send. That's when she flipped, eyes narrowing to slits. That mummer's grin creeping back. You really think you can play me? After all these years. She stepped closer, the pier creaking under our weight, and dropped the bomb. The fund wasn't just for college.
Sweetie.
It was for the other kid. Other kid. The words punched through me like winter whined off the river. She'd cheated, 2009. Some accountant from the firm. A fling that stuck. A baby she handled at a clinic in Jersey. But no, this was worse. Your half-brother, she hissed. In foster care upstate.
Tommy.
That money, half was his inheritance. Siphoned from the same pot Daddy built. I was saving it for when he aged out. Selfish little bitch. Half-brother.
Tommy.
The name echoed. A ghost I'd never haunted. She'd hidden him. Bounced him through the system while I got the white picket lies. Rage warred with a sick pity for him, for the boy robbed of a family because Mom couldn't keep her legs closed or her hands off the slots. Liar, I spat, but doubt wormed in. She'd always been the queen of half-truths, latching onto any thread to unravel you. We argued into the dawn. Voices carrying over the water like accusations to the waking city. She swore she'd contact him, bring him into the fold, redemption arc. American as apple pie and regret. I wavered, the drive heavy in my fist. Because what if? What if the betrayal cut both ways? And I was the villain for not forgiving? But dawn brought clarity. Cold and unforgiving. I didn't send the emails, not yet. Instead, I pivoted, surgical as a scalpel. Monday morning, I crashed her board meeting, badge from a PI I'd hired on credit slung around my neck like a noose. Special Investigator Hayes. I lied smooth, flashing the dossier, minus the personal gut punches. Fraud in the commission pool. 2015. Your star agents involved. Gasps rippled through the suits. Mom's face a mask of feigned shock as the CEO demanded answers. She played the victim flawless. Tears on cue. I had no idea. I trusted her, turning the room against the ghost of her past self. By lunch, she was on administrative leave. Pension intact but rep in tatters. The firm launching an internal probe that had dragged for months. She called that night. Fury unfiltered. You set me up? My own blood? For what, some vendetta? I laughed, the sound hollow as the peers echo. You taught me,
Mom.
survival of the slickest. But the wind soured quick. Tommy was real, I'd verified via public records. A skinny 19-year-old in Buffalo. Foster scars and a juvie rap for boosting cars. I reached out anonymous. A prepaid card with $5,000 and a note. From family. Use it right. His reply? A shaky text. Who is this?
Mom.
The word gutted me. She'd poisoned him too, weaving webs that ensnared us all. The tension ratcheted as fall bled into Philly's gray slog. Mom fought back sly, drained the last joint account, left me with overdraft fees that nearly bounced my rent. Then the mind games, care packages to my door. Guilt bombs of daddy's watch and my baby blanket. Note scrawled, remember who loved you first. I burned them in the sink. The smoke acrid as our history. Work suffered. I snapped at customers. Got written up for attitude. And sleep? Fleeting. Haunted by what-ifs. What if I leaked it all? Tommy included? What if forgiveness was the real revenge? Letting her rot in her own mediocrity. The antagonist in her sharpened. Mum or no more. She lawyered up. A sleazy ambulance chaser from South Philly who subpoenaed my records, claiming I'd alienated her affections or some bullshit tort. Depositions in a fluorescent-lit office. Her across the table in pearls. Spinning yarns of my instability. The therapy sessions after Daddy died. My erratic job hopping. She's always been jealous, she told the lawyer. Loud enough for me to hear. Wanted the spotlight. Now she's ruining me for it. Jealous. Of her hollow highs? The lie fueled me. I countered with countersuit threats. Fraud docs in hand. But the real play was deeper. I went to the Mill's old Union Hall. Cornered her bridge cronies with whispers of bounce checks and bad bets. Social exile. Worse than jail for a woman whose currency was clout. By Thanksgiving, the house of cards teetered. She hosted a reconciliation dinner. Invite via text. Family first.
Fee.
Bring your appetite. I showed. Stealing for the trap. The dining room strung with lights like a funeral parlor. Turkey dry as regret. Sides from Whole Foods to mask her shaky hands. Tommy was there, lanky, wary-eyed. The spitting image of Daddy in his youth.
Mom's masterstroke. Surprise.
Your brother's home. We're starting fresh. He stared at me, fork midway to mouth, murmuring, She said you didn't want me around. The table froze. her eyes pleading, "Don't blow it. Not now." I could have torched it all. Exposed the fun fiasco right there over cranberry sauce. Instead, I smiled, clinked glasses, to new beginnings. But under the linen, my phone ticked, emails queued, one tap from Armageddon. The decision nod, controversial as sin, forgive and fracture, or burn and build on ashes. Mom's grin widened, victory lap in her gaze. But I saw the fear flicker. She'd flipped the script, made me the monster in Tommy's eyes if I struck. Tension coiled. A spring wound too tight, and as pie was served, I felt the snap coming, not with screams, but silence. The kind that deafens. Winter clamped Philly like a vice. Snow piling on the row houses like unpaid debts, mirroring the frost between us. Christmas came gift-wrapped in barbed wire, Mom's family retreat to the Poconos. A cabin rental sheet comped with pilfered points. Tommy in tow as unwilling pawn. Bonding time, she emailed. All emojis and evasion. I packed light jeans, spite, and the thumb drive now etched with addendums, Tommy's foster records. Her clinic receipts from '09. Proof the inheritance was a fairy tale spun to salve her conscience. The drive up was silent hell. Wipers slapping rhythm against the flurries. Tommy's shotgun staring out like he'd rather jump than talk. Mom chattered from the back. Playlist of Springsteen anthems, dancing in the dark on loop. Ironic as a flatline. The cabin was a kitsch nightmare. Heart-shaped tubs. Mirrored ceilings from the honeymoon era. Fireplace crackling false warmth. First night. Eggnog, spiked, heavy. She cornered me by the tree, plastic, pre-lit. Baubles from Dollar Tree.
See?
This is us. Whole again. Her breath reeked of rum. Eyes glassy with the old itch. Tommy hovered in the kitchen, microwaving Hot Pockets. His silence louder than her pleas. I nodded, biting. But the trap sprung at midnight poker, her idea. Innocent fun. Chips clacking. She dealt aces like weapons, her tells non-existent after years at the tables. Bet big or go home. Fie, she taunted, stacking my IOUs while Tommy folded early. Uncomfortable in the glow. That's when I played my hand, not cards, but truth. I fanned the dossier on the felt, pages whispering like indictments, the Vegas ledgers, Daddy's confession, Tommy's file with her signature on the relinquishment forms. No more games.
Mom.
This ends tonight. Confess to him, to us, or it goes public. The firm, the papers, child services for the lies you fed the system. Her face crumpled, then hardened, the flip, swift as a bad beat. You heartless cunt, she snarled, low so Tommy wouldn't hear from the loft. I gave up everything for you kids. Your father was the thief, took my youth, left me with bills. This. She swept the papers. Collateral. And Tommy?
He was a mistake.
But you're the one who'll make him hate us both. The words ignited the powder keg. Tommy stumbled down at the noise, eyes wide on the spread. What the fuck is this? Mom lunged for the pages, but I blocked. Voice steady. Your inheritance, bro. She blew it on slots and spas while we scraped by. Dad died covering her ass. He scanned, face draining. The betrayal etching lines premature for 19. Mom wailed, genuine now. Snot and all, clutching his arm. Baby?
No. Lies.
She's twisting it. But the numbers didn't lie, neither did the ultrasound pic tucked in the back. Dated preemie. Tommy backed away. Hoodie zipped to his chin. You said it was cancer money. For college, for me. He bolted to the porch. Door slamming like judgment. Climax hit in the snow-dusted dark. The three of us a fractured tableau under the pines. Mom begged, on knees in the slush. Fiona,
Please.
I'll wire it all, Tommy's share first.
Just.
Family. Controversial calculus. Destroy her. Orphan him again. Or swallow the bile. Let her slide for his sake? I hesitated. The drive burning in my pocket. Readers, if they were watching, split down the middle. Justice or mercy. She saw the crack. Pounced. You're just like me. The itch for control. Drop it. Or you're no better. The twist landed then. Sly as her deals. Tommy. Voice muffled from the railing. Don't.
Fee.
Let her pay slow. Ruin's worse than jail. He wasn't pleading for her, he was plotting with me. Foster kid sharp. Eyes gleaming with shared vendetta. Mom froze. Betrayal boomeranging. Her empire of lies imploding in real time. Dawn broke bloody-fingered. Coffee bitter as confessions. She wired half that morning, $15K to my account. Earmarked for Penn State's spring enrollment, then drove off alone. Cabin keys tossed like surrender. Call when you're ready to forgive, she texted later. But the number blocked itself in my mind. Tommy stayed a week. Us awkward siblings bonding over mill stories and Wawa runs. Him enrolling at community college with his cut. She's poison, he said one night. Fire dying to embers. But blood's blood. We watch each other's backs now.
Me?
I started classes in January. The fund rebuilt piecemeal from her alimony drips and my side gigs. The revenge? Pyrrhic. Polarizing. Friends called me cold. Therapists resilient. Online forums, yeah. I posted anonymized, split on whether I was hero or heel. Mom resurfaced spring. Soberish. AA chip dangling like bait. Counseling? For us three? Tommy wavered. I did too. The ending? No tidy bow. We met for coffee, neutral. No stakes, her face lined authentic now.
No file.
I was wrong, she admitted. Voice small. Ungrateful was me. I nodded.
No absolution. But the drive stayed buried.
Forgiveness isn't erasure, it's armistice. She relapsed twice that summer, Vegas whispers, but Tommy and I formed our own fund. Ironclad. No trustees but us. In the end, the proof wasn't the papers. It was surviving her storm. America's all about second acts, right? But some scars don't fade. They just teach you to fight dirtier. And if she flips again?
Well,
I've got the deck stacked. Family's a gamble. After all,